Welcome back to State of the Nation. The treacherous journey by African migrants across the Mediterranean and the Sahara Desert has been going on for decades now. But for the exposure of the harsh treatment meted on Nigerian migrants being sold in Libya, the situation would have been worse. This is the statistics we have at the moment. Over 3,000 Nigerians have returned to Nigeria over the past months. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says it has discovered a further 5,000 Nigerians in accessible detention camps. The African Union is wading in on this and wants 20,000 migrants in Libya to be returned to their various countries of origin. Godwin Walker is the Director of Research and Programme Development, Research Development, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP. He joins me from our Abuja studios. I want you to just take a moment to listen to the submissions of some of those returnees who came back to Lagos recently.
At the end of the day, all the money that I work in Libya is still the bad boys in Libya, the police in Libya still chop it like that.
When I started the journey, I started with my own money, so 150,000. So when I got to Libya, Sabah, so they told me that I have not paid my money throughout. So I decided to call my brother, because Libya, if you don't pay your money, they will take you to go and do maybe get work, or maybe Nigeria will come and settle for you. That's what they do there. So when I called my mom's brother, it was the one that took me out of that place.
Mr. Moka, those are the stark realities of what Nigerians had to face in Libya. Now, some of the stranded Nigerians in Libya are refusing to return home, despite the harsh conditions and the likelihood that they may be sold to as slaves in that slave market. What can the government do to prevent citizens from this harm's way?
Well, thank you so much, Gimba. I think that all of us are faced with this reality of the tragedy of our time, when our citizens are putting themselves in harm's way by trying to reach Europe through the desert and through the Mediterranean Sea. Let me just say that this is a phenomenon that has been on for so long, and there's been a lot of outcry about deaths in the Sahara Desert. Just of recent, the reality began to hit our television screens. I began to see actual slavery that is taking place in Libya. Yes, just like those two people have indicated, you find that people elect to go into this because they believe that there is a better life on the other side of the sea. Somebody that pays about 150,000 naira in order to be trafficked and then runs out of money and then is stuck in Libya. The government is doing its best to sensitize our people and to let them understand that the grass is not greener on the other side. If you water your own grass, it will grow. So it's a problem. I think that this is not the time for apportioning blame. This is the time to come up with a national consensus. It's not just for the government. All persons of goodwill, the civil society organizations, individuals, we need to put our heads together and say we have to come up with a national response that is robust and that actually responds to the dimensions of this tragedy. Right now, we're talking about just 5,000 people that have been identified in accessible camps. There are so many camps that are privately run that nobody knows about. There are others that are in rebel areas in Libya that is not under any government control. So we are really looking at a tragedy of huge proportions in this matter.
Now 164 returned today back to Nigeria, and some are blatantly saying that we don't want to get back to Nigeria. Do you think that there is a fundamental issue that they feel that staying away from Nigeria, it's a better deal for them?
No, there are various reasons for that. It depends on how long they've been away. There are many of them that maybe have been away thinking that they were going to come back with lots of good stories to tell. Some sold off their businesses in order to travel. Some closed down, sold houses, sold land. And so the question is, what do they come back to? And so that's the challenge that faces them. And so for them, it is better to stay there than to come back to shame and to stigma. But the assurance we're giving them is that they are coming back to a nation that will receive them with open arms, just like the prodigal son. You cannot throw away your son because he has misbehaved or anything like that. They should come back, and with the concerted efforts of state governments and federal government and civil society groups and even international community, of course, there will be remedies for those that come back. Right now, the program that is ongoing, because 174 came by yesterday, every day, and various groups are coming back because it's a program that is being run by the IOM, sponsored by the EU, assisted voluntary return program. And so there are others who do not want to come back now. So we may need to talk to such people, begin to let them understand that home is home. Home is best. There is no place better than home. But those who are coming back are those who are voluntarily returning, and there are quite many. So I believe that by the time those who are willing to return are able to find their way back, then those that are left will be known. And then, of course, proper efforts will be made to reach them and to convince them that they should come back home.
Many are there, and many more you still have to bring back to the country for those that are willing to come back. Well, what is NAPTIP doing to help returnees, especially the ones trafficked for sex, for instance, for labor in farms owned by Libyan farmers? When they come back, what exactly is your role in trying to see that you reintegrate them into society?
Yes, unfortunately, Gimba, I find that this is a classic case of human smuggling, dovetailing, or mixing up with trafficking. So you find that many of those people victims that are trapped in Libya actually were smuggled. They actually went to look out for people to take them out of the country. There are others who were deceived and trafficked. So, but if you pay, just like that lady said, she paid 150,000, so she was to be smuggled, not trafficked. But by the time you get to Libya and you cannot move forward, you can become a victim of trafficking. So the number is so large. And NAPTIP has been responding, working with NEMA, with National Commission for Refugees, and other IOM and other concerned bodies, trying to see what can be done. And state governments like Edo State and Delta State and others have also responded by assisting with rehabilitation facilities. Right now, NAPTIP shelters are overstretched. They are full to capacity, and the agency is doing all its best to take care of these victims of trafficking, and even those who may not have been identified as victims of trafficking initially. Right now, we're not even discriminating.
That's where we're going to have to end it. I must thank you so much indeed for your time and your thoughts. Godwin Moka, Director of Research and Program Development of NAPTIP. Let's turn our focus to Kano State, where the Governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, says that education for primary and secondary school pupils in the state is free and compulsory. An education promotion committee is established to ensure compliance across the 44 local government areas of the state. I'll continue to bring you more information about the developments in education in Kano State, but that's how the program has been today. I want to thank you so much indeed for watching. I am Gimba Umar, and this is State of the Nation.